Right, welcome guys. So in the last section we are talking about the views and the routes. And in the MVC pattern we have the models, views and controllers. But in the last section we already looked at views. So what about the controllers and the models? So I'll talk about the models. But first, before talking about the models, I'm going to talk about the migrations. Okay, so what are models? I said that models, they deal with the application data. Okay, the creation of data, the storage of data, the retrieval of data. That logic is usually dealt with models. But then we have an important part called migrations. And migrations, we find the migration in the database and migrations folder. And what are migrations? What the hell are migrations? And what does they do? Okay, what does they do? Maybe. Okay, so migrations are basically a blueprint of whatever table that you want to create in our database. As I said earlier, in a PHP application, that is vanilla PHP, usually what we usually do is going to the database and creating tables manually, or writing a script that is going to create that table. But in Laravel, we don't do that. Instead of doing that, we use what we call migrations. So migrations contain the blueprints, or contain the blueprints of specific tables that we are going to create, or we want to create in our database. And then after defining all the tables that we want to create, we are not going to create manually or go to the database and run those scripts manually. The only thing we are going to do is to connect our application to the database, and then we are going to run to do a PHP script that is going to run or write all that those tables in the database. So for example, let's look at the default migrations. Okay, so like this is a migration, and it is the I'm going to click on it. It is failed jobs. Let me just click on create users migration, and that migration is usually created automatically. It comes with the Laravel application, so we did not create that migration, but it's basically for users table. So as you can see, we have the fields that are going to be created when we run that migration is the ID, name, email, then verify email, then the timestamp, that is, and then the password, and then remember token. So basically this is that users table. If we run, it's going to create the users table. So if we want maybe to create another migration, we'll create it on the command line. So but I just want you to understand that this is the migration, just a blueprint. Blueprint means maybe it has the information about creating a specific table and the contents of that table. Okay, so basically that is what migrations are. And so migration, they work, that is migrations. And then now that data in the table, whatever, that logic of retrieving and saving that data is usually done with the model. And where do we find models? So while we are explaining the application or Laravel application structure, went inside the app directory and the HTTP directory, and here we have the user. So this is we saw the migration, but now this is the user, That is, this is the model. Okay, so the model is going to deal with that data, the data that is in our table. For example, if we want to retrieve users, we are going maybe to retrieve user, to retrieve a specific user, to edit user, and such functionalities. We are going to use the model, and that is the work of the model. Okay, so that is specifically what model and migrations are. Okay, so that is it for now. In the next section we are going to look at controllers. Thank you.